Do not be gaslit by the drive-by mainstream NFL media who have grabbed a talking point and recycled it ad nauseum without ever taking a look at actually what's happening in Denver Broncos training camp. The Denver Broncos prove once again that they are a cut above and that they are going to shock the world. We have seen time and time again across all political spectrums that lazy media can take a hold of a narrative and just recycle it over and over and over and pontificate about it without actually having a clue what is going on. And in today's video, we're going to break down a plugged-in source who actually has eyes on the ground at what is happening at Denver Broncos training camp and why the Broncos are actually a notch above and going to shock the world. I don't need to remind you that really the national perspective on the Broncos is that we are one of the worst teams in the league. Our over-under is set at 5 games. Despite the fact that we won 8 games last year and now we have a quarterback who can run our system. This is Yahoo has us as the 30th. We saw yesterday. Fox has us as the 31st. Our over-under, again, is set at 5 with one of the worst Super Bowl odds in the entire NFL. And frankly, that's just not the case. What I love is that Dianna Russini has a podcast on The Athletic, a very awesome podcast that I try to listen to every episode. And I have some clips here from it where she just talks about how different things actually are. And I think this is a much more realistic look at what the Denver Broncos are going to be this year. So let's let it breathe.
The pace, the effort, the intensity there is significantly better than it was. Things have picked up, already feels different than last year. And the fact that the competition has risen.
Because he's a Bill Parcells guy. How Bill Parcells ran it, tough, hard-nosed. You're hitting your live goal line periods. I think he's probably trying to put his stamp on that team. They weren't tough enough in his opinion last year. They condition every day. That's like not normal. Andy Reid's camps are really hard too. You want to push these guys to the brink on everything that they do.
Here's my takeaway from what I'm hearing. This is why the Broncos hired Sean. This is why. For what vision he has, almost like they're drinking the Kool-Aid. That's how he wants it, and that's how he wants it to look and feel. These young guys are really coachable, and they're buying into that. Bo Nix has had a really good camp so far. From playing college to going to the NFL, it's a substantial step. But the fact that he is able to get in and out of the huddle without any issues, things that I'm hearing out of Denver, this stuff is already getting cleaned up with a rookie quarterback. They know that they've got something that they can.
Sean Payton loves Bo Nix. He's wrapping his arms around him, and we run our training camp different than other teams in the league. Remember Nathaniel Hackett famously bringing an ice cream truck out on the field or like a snow cone truck. Practices were more like just joking around and actually not getting to work. We hear an actual former NFL quarterback who went through a Sean Payton training camp say, hey, he runs this very differently. He is way more in line with a Bill Parcells or a Bill Belichick type of system. And it's already different than last year and better than last year. And we were already an 8-win team last year. And so all of this doubt is ridiculous because Sean Payton loves Bo Nix. And what is not to love when we take a look at just how different he is than Russell Wilson and some of the amazing plays that we have already seen this year. I think one of the big differences is his ability to throw on the run. I love watching this play, this little scramble on the goal line, and just his ability to move and throw accurately on the run. Watch him find Courtland Sutton here on the run. An incredible throw, an incredible way to scramble and create space here. And here we're going to let it breathe right here. Here he is in white. Watch him, man, just take off here, get around the edge, and still accurately find Courtland Sutton against the first-team defense there. Amazing. We're seeing the same thing kind of here. Watch it, the difference here between him stepping up, not running outside and taking a sack, but finding the lane in the middle and his wheels that he had after that to turn it upfield. Obviously, Pat Surtain is turning down and not trying to make that play right there. And you could make an argument that Zach Allen maybe could have dove at his legs there. But I think that is the type of thing that we're going to see, that we know Bo Nix can move and throw accurately. His wheels are ridiculous. Here's him at his pro day throwing to Troy Franklin on the run, which I think we're going to see a ton more this year. We did not see this out of Russell Wilson when he was in Denver. Like we saw it when Russell Wilson beat us in the Super Bowl several years ago, but we have not seen that before. So Sean Payton has flipped the culture. He has this entire team believing, and he has a way of being both a player's coach and a hardliner. So I think we've seen like a Bill Belichick or a Bill Parcells. They're able to keep that players in check. They're able to hold players accountable. They have really difficult training camp practices. But what distinguishes Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick from Sean Payton is that he does that, but then he's also a ton of fun. He is one of the first coaches in the entire NFL who actually has a deal with a shoe brand. I remember last year listening to an interview with Pat Surtain, and halfway through the interview, he stopped because Sean Payton had just gotten a new delivery of Air Jordans for the entire secondary. And so everyone just flocks to his office, and he's giving out, $200 pairs of shoes to everyone. We see him sitting courtside at the Denver Nuggets. And so he has this way of being really strict and hardline, but then also relating to the players. We remember famously him bringing Club Dub, where he invested a ton of money in a sound system and a fog machine, and he brings it on the road and he brings it at home. And so as soon as the team wins a game, he pumps music so loud that the other locker room is like, man, I wish I played for Sean Payton. And so he is one of the unique coaches in sports who can toe the line between being a player's coach and really being a hardliner. We even just saw right the other day with Tim Patrick made a mistake, and Sean Payton is joking around with him and saying, hey, you've been having a lot of different treatments on your legs and stuff. Did the ultrasound you have on your legs, does that impact your brain function at all? Obviously just a total joke there, but we see him going up and down the lines, relating to players during stretches and joking around with them. And at the end of the day, Sean Payton loves Bo Nix, and that is a great sign because he's going to wrap his arms around him and give this team to him, and it's going to be a fantastic thing. Just seeing how our running backs look amazing. Jaleel McLaughlin this offseason went out and spent, thought this was cool. He spent almost $5,000, and for an undrafted dude, that's a lot of money, so that he could catch 250 balls every single day in his garage because he wants to be a better receiver out of the backfield. And you just look like he was a one-trick pony last year, and now he's going to have a bunch of tricks in his bag that Sean Payton is going to be able to use. And I just think the future is very bright. And I think the future is mostly bright because of how much everyone is sleeping on us. And now, again, Dianna Russini, Chase Daniels are showing us that, man, the national narrative that all these lazy reporters, we showed a couple weeks ago how truly they are just recycling information and using ChatGPT. That one article I showed 2 weeks ago that said Bo Nix was the most prolific thrower in the history of college basketball. Like, truly, they aren't even fact-checking their own stories. They said the word basketball instead of college football because they are just recycling the same narrative. And the people who know, who are in the locker room, are the people who are like Quinn Meinert saying, yeah, don't ever underestimate the young and hungry team. I think right here, yeah, you don't want to count out the young, hungry team that is working very hard. Sean Payton said the same thing. Young, hungry teams can be very dangerous, and that is going to happen this year. The Denver Broncos are young and hungry. We've got a coach who has taken teams out of being the most ridiculous embarrassment in the history of the league in the New Orleans Saints to winning a Super Bowl, and I think the same thing is going to happen here. He has broken a ton of streaks already. Last year, our streak of losing to Kansas City, our streak of losing in Buffalo, and the streak that he is going to break this year is going to be taking us to the playoffs, and it's going to feel so good because you knew it. We didn't sleep on it, and we've got a ton to believe in.